Hello, veteran listener, and welcome back for another episode of Veteran Solidarity. Earlier episodes, I made it a point of letting the veterans know about veterans' benefits that they may or may not have known about. As I'm a highly service connected veteran myself, I've had the opportunity to learn some of the hidden benefits of the VA, one of which is called the Specially Adapted Housing Grant. This is a $110,000 grant that will help veterans who are 100% permanent and total service connected and also homeowners with remodeling their house to meet their disability needs. As I am a veteran of this program, thankfully, I've brought my general contractor, a CB, so also a veteran, and I want to interview him just to let the listener know more about what the VA has going on and the ways in which the VA is really looking out for us that we may or may not have realized. Welcome to the stage, Anthony Mays.
Hi, Mike. Thank you for inviting me to your show today. Appreciate it.
Certainly. Thank you. Appreciate the job that you did for myself and my wife. I was enjoying it this morning, in fact.
Yes, I was. It's nice going in your home and seeing the work I have completed for you. It's still good.
Yeah, so I was talking about the Specially Adapted Housing Grant. That's something that you are very familiar with at this point. Is that correct? How many remodels have you completed as part of that?
I believe I've completed at this time about a little less than 10 at this time.
Wow. And with each remodel you complete, they have to give you the recommendation to get additional remodels. Is that correct?
Yes,
Mm.
each letter recommendation at the end of each project completion, the veteran fills out that letter recommendation. Then basically those letter recommendations shows high marks for my contracting business. So as the other vets are looking at contractors to bid for their jobs, it puts me on a higher ranking on their listing.
Whoa. And to the veteran listener, we point out this fact. He has been highly recommended by everyone he's done work for, which, if nothing else, firmly attests to his abilities as a general contractor, a businessman, and a veteran.
Yes, the subcontractors that I hire have 15 years more experience in their trade. Also, good customer service. And basically, those gentlemen make my job easier because I just give them simple instructions and they're able to go in there and complete the task and get things done correctly.
Simple instructions because you're an educated individual. Those instructions may seem simple to you, but to a layman,
Well, that's true.
they're mind boggling.
Yeah, I mean, I speak different lingo, I guess, in a sense, to where they understand me and I understand them versus a person that doesn't understand construction.
I'm laughing at that because I remember when you were handling the remodel for myself and my wife. Ooh, if my wife did not misunderstand where you're coming from time and again, and I just have to put my hand on her shoulder and just say, baby, he's talking in military lingo. She's like, but you get what he's saying? It's like, absolutely. He's speaking my language. I learned it in boot camp.
Yes. Um, a lot of times the wives have a understanding, hard understanding of how things are going to unfold, how things are going to be put together, and then the timely facet of when things are going to be completed. And the most of all is everything boils down to the cost of doing business. And right now, considering what the economy is going through now, the cost of business has increased about 30%. So it's kind of changed
Wow.
that drastically.
But we'd point that out. Like, I'm sorry to always continuously come back to praising the VA, but the VA, again, is looking out for us with this grant, which I never knew about. It really blew my mind. And, finding out that the VA was working so much more fervently, really, just to help more veterans. And I ask, like, why does the VA not want publicity for all the good that they do?
This program is only designed for veterans with 100% medical disability. Not just any disabled veteran could qualify for this program. You have to go through a vetting process through this particular grant program. Then, once you're vetted and approved, then you get approved for the grant amount. Now, the grant amount now today is $101,650,
Okay.
and it's every October the grant amount increases a little bit depending on what the Congress and Senate approves for the increase.
Wow. Yeah, that is definitely a program that took my breath away and helped myself, my wife, our daughter out beyond words, and to learn that they're hiring prominent professionals in the field to accomplish the job is just positive reassurance.
It is. And I always like to ensure the customer and so it gives them rest and peace knowing that I have the competency to come into their home, take it apart, and put it back together again and put it back together correctly. And during the process, it all depends on the length, the, the complex of the project. Sometimes you need to get a city permit, and also the VA has their own inspectors to inspect the progress of the job being completed. So there's usually a city and the VA grant inspectors.
And fortunately, that's why we hire experienced people like you to take care of it. Because aside from running my mouth, I don't even balance my checkbook.
Well, Mike, it's kind of hard to do that when you don't see all that well anymore.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. But no, so thank you for appearing today for purpose of this interview.
You're very welcome, Mike. I
Yeah.
know you and I have been friends about since 2014, 15 when you invited me, and a handyman that I knew very well for many years, went to church with, and he told me about Mike's situation. And I met Mike, introduced myself, and he knew I was a CB vet, we had a conversation. And once I told him, once I was a CB vet, he says I was hired because of John Wayne.
Yeah, he says, really, I'm hired? You don't want to see my resume or talk to any of my references? And I said, no, I'll explain. I base my idea of American masculinity on the movies of the late John Wayne. Can we agree on that? He said,
Yes.
yeah, John Wayne, I can go with that. I said, okay, if John Wayne pretended to be you at war, then who am I to question your abilities?
Thank you.
And with that, he had the job, and he did a hell of a job at that, as evidenced by the fact he's sitting here with me today being interviewed.
Thank you, Mike. Appreciate you.